Where do you think AI, in the context of India, will have the greatest impact? For example, healthcare, a sector that you are involved in.
Health. Unquestionably, in one of them, in fact, the session we're having later this afternoon is on this exact issue. In order to understand the power of AI in health, one has to ask the question, how easy is it for someone to get access to a high-quality doctor today? And that access is difficult. So this is the ideal leapfrog moment. You need data access, you need compute, and you need models that are tuned to make sure that we're doing in the best interests of the patient. These are all opportunities. Jump ball. We can actually see that collaboration work, and I'm hopeful with ABDM and the initiatives here, combined with what we're doing in the US with health tech ecosystem, there's a chance to collaborate in these areas as we did with the US-India Open Government Dialogue.
Oh, Mr. Rangaswamy, as you, and Jordan, before you come in, another show of hands. How many of you have used any form of AI in the past week?
That's a cheat question. Of course the answer is
okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
See, that's the group, and an earlier speaker alluded to it, right? They're all using AI and generating a lot of data.
Yeah.
And so there's some questions to be answered on ROI. Who owns that data? I don't know. Right now,
I don't know too.
yeah, it looks like the models own the data, right? Yeah. So I think there might be something regulations-wise and others to kind of provide consumers some benefit of using these systems. So there could be some ROI that's more than just making you more productive, giving you more abundance. Maybe there's also money to be made in using AI and training the data models to be better too.
Yeah, go ahead.
So a great comment to MR on who owns the data. Like when we work with enterprises and governments, we see a strong desire for sovereign AI, where I do think governments and enterprises should own their data. And there are ways to architect these systems within the compliance boundaries of an enterprise so the data doesn't leave the company. I do think a company's data is its moat. I don't think algorithms and compute will be. I think it'll be data. And ideally a data-driven feedback loop where as humans use that company's services, the models keep getting better, the agents keep getting better, and it becomes more useful. And I really liked Aneesh's framing on leapfrogging, right? Like I love that optimism. And in case the tsunami sounded a bit scary, you could surf the tsunami, right? And maybe all of us, I mean, you're all already using AI pretty heavily. I think we have an exciting path ahead. To your point, in addition to healthcare, for India, I'm extremely optimistic about education. Yeah. I think there has been no better time to be a student, right? Like, so if you're studying something, right? Like you have an infinitely patient tutor that can talk to you at your level of difficulty.
In the same classroom, This is a brilliant point. Imagine 50 of you students in a class, one teacher delivering the same message in the same tone and with, in his own style. But imagine each of you getting a dedicated tutor, even if you are in a physical classroom. That's the world I believe will perhaps move to.
That's exactly right. And I benefited greatly from my teachers in Chennai, where I grew up, and at Stanford. I still remember my awesome teachers. And now we can scale those teachers to the rest of the world. So we've built this thing called EDU Arena. So if any of you are interested in sort of playing with like an education-focused LLM product, you should check it out. But I think there's never been a better time to be a student or a teacher. A teacher can now create curriculums at like infinite dimensionality, right? It's such a wonderful time to learn and be a lifelong learner.
Absolutely. Indiaspora, and you must have worked with tens or hundreds of Indian founders. I wanted to ask you this question. Frugal Indian engineering, Jugaad as it is called, is there, when we talk about huge amounts of capital needed, do you see somewhere this hope of Indian Jugaad doing the same thing at 1/10th, 1/20th, 1/50th of the cost as we did in our space program, for example?
I agree. I think Aneesh alluded to this thing as well with India, right? Leapfrogging. So there's an ability to leapfrog, but also leapfrog with less money, right? I don't think India can afford to invest $1 trillion in any of these things, but maybe using frugal innovation and leapfrogging as a concept, let's get from LLMs to whatever is next. Maybe it's its own proprietary data, maybe new models that are developed in India, taking advantage of all the Indic languages, taking advantage of speech. So there are many, many ways I think India can leapfrog at lower cost. And knowing our mindset and our DNA at India and with the diaspora, we'll come up with that. We're just at the beginning.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.